Today we are hitting up the Goodwill bins and a regular Goodwill. We are in Topsom, Maine, and we are going to check out this Goodwill. I've been here before, and I noticed that they moved everything around. It's different. The layout's different. Right off the bat, I found this Viking piece. It is clear glass with some silver overlay. It was only $3. That's a good pickup for anybody. It's a great piece, but they only sell for about $15, and I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it with the clear. If it was a color, maybe, but the clear was not doing it for me. But definitely worth picking up if you have the storage space for lots of different stuff. And I'm just going through all the shelves today. We're going to look through stuff we don't normally look through, just because this particular Goodwill is known to have things where they're not supposed to be. I'll leave it at that. I think people just move it around. And look at that pretty pottery in with the cookware. That's my whole point. So there we go. We got some cream soup cups, and those were marked on the bottom. There was only 2 of them, and they typically come with like an underlay plate. So cream soup cups, actually I've made a really good money off cream soup cups. If you have like a set of 4 Limoges, they sell really, really well. So definitely be on the lookout for those. That was a more modern double casserole dish. I thought for sure it was going to be a little bit older than that, but no. And then there's an old metal teapot up here. All kinds of stuff. If you're just starting to like build your own home, you got into a new place, definitely check out the Goodwills, because there's really good deals. There's a little egg cup. It was only $2. Nice little lusterware on it. And then I found a whole bunch of these little wine cups, and they had some gold trim around the edge. I thought those were really pretty, and I think there was at least a set of 4 spread out everywhere. It looks like somebody donated like sets of stuff, because they had it broken up into like, oh, here's all the side plates, here's all the dinner plates, and I mean, they were reasonably priced. And here is the one thing I found today. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a Mickey Mouse mug. And of course, some Disney can sell really well. I didn't check it out. For $3, I'm like, heck, I'll use it if it's not worth anything. But it is marked Disney. And then the smaller sticker on the bottom said Brazil. I think it was made in Brazil. So it was Mickey Mouse through the years. I thought it was cute. I don't do a whole lot of Disney, but I did like that one. So I picked it up. So now I'm looking at all the mugs. I have a lot of good luck in Maine finding pottery mugs, so I always like to double check through here. There's a lot of just like local artists that make pottery mugs in this area, so in Maine in general. Thought that was pretty cute. I thought for sure that was going to have some age to it, but no, just made to look like it is. There's some Ray Dunn back there that says pinch me. All right, then back here in the clear section was this purple dish. I thought it was going to be a little bit older, but no, it wasn't. And then I found this. This is a cute little like reversed frosted satin divided dish, and it had cherries on it. I don't know who makes it. It looks like it might be Mikasa, but that's just a guess. I thought that was pretty neat. So I think it was like $6 if I remember correctly. And then I'm down here looking to see if there's any other cool sets. It was a purple teacup and teapot set, and made to look older. It had like that crown sticker. It wasn't even a mark, it was a sticker on there. And then somebody left their cart right in the middle of the aisle. So yes, let me go around this cart. And then this cup just had some iridescence on it, so I wanted to check it out. But it looked like it was like flashed on there, so quickly walked away from that. And then down here, they had a whole bunch of shot glasses, and oh, look at this. It's a Blanco Lotus Bowl. So already we found Viking and Blanco. Again, I think that was only $3, so a good deal, but it's clear, and the clear ones don't sell nearly as well as the other ones, so I did leave it for someone else to find. I don't need everything. Let's see, and they run about $15, $20, so let's see. Something's hiding back here. Oh, there was a little Starbucks Chicago mug ornament, so I thought that was cute. Definitely probably worth $10 or so. And then, okay, we're in the vase section, and this is where it gets a little crazy, because Maine has some fantastic vintage items at Goodwill. The issue is I don't have space for the size of these vases. But look at this. If I had a booth, I would absolutely pick up so many of these. This is a vase. It's a little Japanese vase. It said Japan on the bottom with some irises on it. So that was super pretty. And the prices, I think the most expensive one was $10. I don't know what this is. It was like ceramic pottery. I don't know what that is. If you know, let me know. No clue. There was some handmade pottery pieces. This looks like a little champagne flute made out of pottery with like a little black iridescence on it. This was a real pretty piece. It had like green and purples dripping down. Something tells me it might have been a cup, maybe a vase, I'm not sure. Back to the handmade pottery. I got like so distracted. Like I started to go towards one thing and then I'm like, ooh, some oil lamp shades, and I think those were only $6 each. So again, if I had a booth, I would just throw it right in there. And then I want to show you this. This is otagiri, which kind of threw me off. I don't think I've ever seen, there's the mark on the bottom, an otagiri this large. It has birds, it has flowers, little hummingbirds, and I think it was only like $10. And again, if I had a booth, I absolutely would have picked that up. There's a little pottery pitcher there with a Christmas tree on it. And just some regular store planters there. But let's keep going. Definitely, these follow me everywhere I go. Why? Why? Every Goodwill I go to, I find one. This is a real pretty planter. I'm not sure who makes it. It wasn't marked on the bottom. Looks like it has some age, but it had a big chunk missing on the base. Otherwise, I might have picked that up because it was real pretty. I liked it. It's got florals on it and it's yellow. All right, let's check it over one more time, see if there's anything we're missing. That was a pretty neat vase, definitely modern, but I like the texture of it. And then we have some iridescent candle holders. I'm trying to get to this monster vase in the back here. I'm curious to see if it's marked on the bottom because it's got this nice like coloration to it. Definitely has age by looking at it. Somebody put some little feet on there. It was $12, and again, if I had a booth, I absolutely would scoop that up because it's amazing. But large, very large. That would take up one of my entire bins, and I only brought 3 bins for storage. I have a 4th bin that has all my shipping supplies. So I have very limited space on this particular trip, so I'm being a little picky. That was pretty too. It had some gold color on that pressed glass. Always check out the ones with the flowers in it because you never know. This piece looked like Stangl, doesn't it? With that little gold paint on it. And it was not marked, so definitely looks it. Has some age to it. But again, if I had a booth, I would pick it up. I would totally get it. And you can tell it has age to it because the amount of dirt that is on the bottom inside that nobody ever cleaned in the 30 plus years they've owned it. All right, over here, I guess this is the wood section. I saw this little chair and it had all these little gardening tools on it. I thought that was a pretty cool decor piece if you're into gardening. Oh, and then I found this. Home Sweet Home, little Maine in there. But it was like probably one of those mass-produced, very flimsy ones. If it was a handmade one, I might have got it. Saved it for my mom. And nope, that's just a little broom. I thought about it for a second because I only have like a full-size regular broom in the van. I'm like, wouldn't it be better to have just one of these little ones? It's a tiny space. It takes all of 2 seconds to sweep it out. And then this kind of threw me off. I thought it was a fairy lamp, and then it's just 2 little candlestick holders. Somebody put a candle in there, so those are pretty nice. They probably have a little bit of age. I'm not sure who makes them though. More candle holders. And this one had like a little bit of Mackenzie vibes. Like I knew it wasn't, but I had to double check just to like appease myself, because if I didn't, I'd be like kicking myself in the butt saying you should have just checked. Do you guys do that? Because I do it all the time. All right, let's go over here. There's a new cart. The only thing on it is a Christmas tree. Okay, back to the candle holders. No, not seeing any glassy baby or anything that I need. Cute little star candle pillar holder. That was pretty nice. And then we're over in the furniture. This massive trunk is definitely old. It was only like $30, I want to say. It was huge. Again, booth worthy. And somebody donated their entire collection of toy horses. I checked them over real quick just to see if there's any Breyer horses, because some Breyer horses can sell for good money as well. But those were just regular ones. More chairs. And there's a bike back there. And then, of course, they had a whole wall of linen. Now, linen is not my thing. I know people love it, and people sell it, people buy it. but I don't know anything about it, so I just kind of stay away from what I don't know. Unless it's something that like really catches my eye. But it's got to be easy to ship. All right, I'm in the picture section because I noticed some cute little ones that I thought caught my eye, and that little dress had the 3D butterflies. This is what I came over here for. I thought for sure this was going to have some age with the cornucopia. I thought it was good for Thanksgiving, and then that tag said made in China. And I'm like, what? Really? I thought for sure that was going to be something a little bit older than it really was. So a little discouraged by that, as cute as it was. See if there's anything else, any hand painted. I wouldn't mind some oil paintings. I think I want to do some oil paintings on a blank wall I have. Oh, this is a blasphemy. What were they doing? Somebody drilled through Fenton and made a wind chime out of it. You ruined a perfectly good piece of Fenton. That makes me sad, so I'm just going to put it down and walk away before I cry. I get it, it's just a creamer. Maybe they didn't have the sugar, but you never know. You can find the singles and make a pair all the time. All right. Here is the sporting aisle. We don't need to go down there. Here's a purple section. That was just a single candle holder there. Nice little facets on it, but modern. No, don't see anything I need. And then somebody organized the game section and the puzzle section. Look at this. It is so organized and clean and neat. If I go back there 2 days, it's not going to look that good. Here's the greens section. This is an old Blendo bowl down here. It's probably like a chip and dip, and it's missing the little dip in the clip. Some Christmas over here. They had a ton of holiday stuff out. I know, it's getting close to that year, but they had some Halloween and Christmas. Now, it was mostly blocked off because they were bringing out new carts, so I couldn't get to a lot of it, but here's a little glimpse at it. They had some houses, some snow globes, and I like how they're still in the original boxes, so you can do all your Christmas shopping here too. It's like new. Oh, here's what I was talking about with the sets that they dropped off. This is Johnson Brothers. The pattern is Staffordshire Bouquet. I have seen it many times, and throughout this particular trip, you're going to see it all over because somebody dropped off an entire set. That definitely has some age to it too. I couldn't read the label, but that's real pretty, blue and white. And here we are, a little Cornell milk glass bowl. And they dropped off some of this older Blue Willow looking. Nope, I think that's Johnson Brothers too. Let me turn it over. Yep, still Johnson Brothers. That's just a different pattern. But see what I mean? They had like clumps of it selling separately, like the side plates from the dinner plates. And I thought this pattern was really pretty with the flower on it. And then I turned it over, and I think it was just like Norfolk, which is like sold at the dollar store. So I was a little discouraged by that. All right, here's my one and only thing that I got at that Goodwill, which is this Mickey Through the Ages. And so I was happy about that. And next up, we're going to be going to the Goodwill bins. And I haven't been to the bins in forever. So this is in Gorham, Maine. So we're about an hour south now. And unbeknownst to me, when I got there, oh, Little Miss Sunshine, that's a great movie. When I got there, I was there for like 5 minutes, and then they yelled they're closing in 10 minutes. So I had to rush. I'm not going to lie. So it's a lot of surface, just showing you what I found. I didn't have a real lot of time to dig into these bins, and I highly recommend when you go, giving yourself the time to dig all the way to the bottom, because that's where I find the best stuff, is all the way on the bottom, because it just settles and people don't go all the way to the bottom. There's an old Snoopy melamine bowl. And here was a whole set of acrylic napkin ring holders, and I love the colors on it. They were in the shape of fish, so nice little nautical theme going. And like I said, if I was a general reseller, oh, look at that cute little bottle brush Christmas trees. There was 2 of them. I would put that in my home. I would absolutely display that. If I was a general reseller, I would be all over so much stuff in here because it's so cheap. They sell it by the pound. But I'm a picky reseller, so I like the vintage and the pretty and the, you know, kitschy stuff. So I'm looking for stuff that's particular to my niche, which is not an easy thing to do at the bins. So definitely good for general resellers, or if you want to decorate your home, or you just got a new apartment, or your kid's going off to college, whatever. There's some great stuff in here. Like, look, this blanket is still new in the packaging. New in the packaging, never opened. And there's bins galore here. You might want to look inside the bins. You can find some good stuff. This just happens to be kids' toys, so not exciting on that particular one. There's hair trimmers. That'd be great if you need to trim your own dog. Let's see, they had some games, some pots and pans, some paddle boards over there, some serving trays. That was an oil lamp wick, like new old stock knitting needles, some old school thread. Like, you can find some just stuff you wouldn't imagine. Like, you can't have expectations when you go to the bins. See, this is what I call grab something out of the bin and use it to poke around with. That's a wood fork, because there's the knitting needles. Those are in bags, but what if they weren't? There are sharp things in here, so you got to be careful. You can wear gloves. Look, some pliers. I mean, they got a little bit of everything in here. And again, I'm being superficial because I only have a few minutes, so I'm not digging all the way to the bottom unless I see something I really want to check out. So here's a quick glimpse at the clothing. They had some Disney, and there's some resellers that make a living just selling clothes they found at the bin because it's so cheap. Like, each item maybe is 20 cents each, maybe. You'd have to like average it out, but it's dirt cheap. So look at that flannel shirt. Oh, and there's a lovely Ladies of the Night book here, and I thought that was going to be a little bizarre. Of course, I had to check it out. I'm like, what is this doing in the bins? And then I lost interest. I'm like, all right, not that important. I'm running out of time. And then I found down here, oh, the lid. There's like a whole lobster pot where you can do a lobster bake, and all 3 different pieces. Oh, if you ever find nuts at the bins, don't buy them. Don't eat them, please. There was food in there, which is kind of weird. They usually get rid of that stuff. Empty tins. But yeah, there was a whole set. You had like the steaming basket, the actual pot, and the lid for a whole lobster bake. And then I found this. This was a trail tent, and it's like a 2-person tent. I'm like, I bet that would be less than $5, and it looked like it was all there and bundled into that little package. I thought about getting it for a minute, and I held on to it for a minute, and then I'm like, why do I need a tent? I literally have a camper. I don't need a tent. So I put it back for someone else to enjoy. And then over here, there's the Game of Life. There was some old school games here. Like, I'll show you in a little bit, but there was a whole bin full of like old games. And of course, the risk you take is having all the pieces. Are they going to be in there? And I've actually seen people sitting down and counting all the pieces to make sure they're all there. So, and then this caught my eye. It's Where's Waldo collection, like all the books, except the little sticky note said it was missing one of them, and there was a duplicate of another one. I used to love Where's Waldo when I was a kid, so of course that caught my eye. And then here we are going around to this bin, and what caught my eye in here was all of the games. Look at this. There's, what is that? Hugger Mugger? I've never even heard of that. Hugger Mugger. There's Can't Stop. There's some games I've never even heard of. In here, what's in here? More games. It looks like somebody had a whole box of just old games and they donated them. There's trivia. This one's new in the package. Look at this. The ID game. Don't know it. But look, never even opened. Trivia Adventures. Read Maker. Oh, and this cute little case caught my eye. That probably would have been like $1 or less. Not my niche, but cute. Definitely vintage. And then what's down here? Oh, this little bag. I like the colors of it, so I wanted to check that out real quick. But again, not my niche. And then some LL Bean shoes. Oh, look at the back. Okay, so I'm in the back in the warehouse. Look how massive. Look at how much stuff is here. The bathrooms are located in the back. So you're allowed to come through here to use the bathroom. So I was like, whoa, look at that. I want to show you guys that. All right, here we are going through the ceramics and the glassware. And some of the Goodwill bins make you wear gloves. So definitely keep some gloves in your car. So when you do go to the bins, you'll have them right there. This one doesn't make you, they're not really packed. Like some of them are just jam full and breakage everywhere. So they just want you to be careful. But look, there's a whole set of those nautical theme plates. And this is where it can get a little expensive because we know glass and ceramics weigh a lot more. Look at this. Look at this old lamp. Again, if I had a booth, I would absolutely pick that up, fix it up, and which is just like tightening, and put it in my booth. Like that's a good find. That's probably like $5. Probably worth about 30, 40. Okay, we're still looking. Some mugs. I was trying to get to this pretty plate on the bottom for like Thanksgiving. That would have been gorgeous. And it definitely was vintage. It had some nice florals on it. Just by itself though, I didn't see any matching pieces. If you had like a gravy boat to match that, that would be nice too. All right, still looking through. I found one plate that was like so pretty. I don't know if I showed it. It was broken, but I'm like, man, that would make some really good shard art. I hope I find it. Oh, definitely always check out the ends of the bins because this is where people put back the things they changed their mind on. Look, there's an old yearbook in there. Some yearbooks do sell for good money. I didn't look that one up. All right, down over here. This one I was kind of like tiptoeing around because it had a lot of that foam flooring on it. But look, there's a whole TV. You can buy a whole TV at the bins. Had its cords and everything. And then, what is this? Is this a diaper bag? Like, what is that for? It would be great for shopping because it has all those compartments. So if you get breakables, you can put each one in its own little compartment. All right, let's keep going. Down here, look, more Maine mudding shoes. I don't know what to call them. Mudding shoes. LL Bean makes them out too, and I find them a lot up here because that's where there's a lot of LL Beans. There's basketballs. I try not to touch the plushy stuff. Oh, there's the rest of the pot. Look at that. See, you can have your own clam bake. It's got lobsters and clams and more pots. A smaller version of it. That's fun to find. If you had like a big old camping trip with the family, grab that and do a whole lobster bake. Look at that. Ornaments new in the box. Those are newer ones. They're not vintage, but still. If you need Christmas decor, definitely check out the bins because I always find Christmas decor, even though it's more modern. It's fine. You can use it. There's an old teapot. There's a lampshade. Here's the other piece of the pot. There's a lot of lobster pots up here for obvious reasons. And then I'm like, oh, is that a pug? I'm not sure. Kind of looks like a pug. Could be a Frenchie. Hard to say. All right, I don't think there's anything in that particular bin I need to go dig for. And then down here, there's a ton of toys. Yes, if you have kids, you can find toys galore at the bins. You're just gonna have to clean it up really quick before you let your kids play with it. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That's a cool old frame. That would be fun. That like definitely has some age to it if you're a crafter doing something with that or an artist. And that's another thing I find here is lots of pictures. So even if you don't like the pictures and you just want the frames, right, there's Mr. and Mrs. established 2024, and now it's at the bins. 2 of them. So I don't know if it didn't last or they just didn't like it. This guy in his shades. That's probably Mr. if I had to guess. Oh, maybe not. All right. Let's see. Now, just regular cups. And there's Mrs. with her lashes. Oh, the things you find, the stories you make up. Okay. More glassware down here. Oh, there's something I missed. What did I want to see? Oh, this. Oh, yes. I have found some fantastic crystal at the bins before. I'm looking to see if there's an acid etching because you can find like Waterford, really nice brand, Tiffany & Company crystal glasses because people don't take the time to look. And I could tell that was quality. There was only one and I didn't see any marks on it, so I did leave it behind. But if you're at the bins, definitely check out those lidded crystal glasses, because even just one will sell nice. Oh, here's that plate I was telling you about. It's so pretty. It's got some age to it, but what I liked about it is that the pattern was so pretty. The florals on there, little pink flowers, that would make really good shard art. So if you're into that, and you're crafty, go to the bins and get your stuff, because it's so cheap. And then you can save like that plate from going to the landfill, because nobody else is going to buy that. It's pretty broken. But if you're an artist, definitely check it out. All right, what's down here? I don't even remember what that was. Oh, it's a Christmas bulb. There's a whole box of them. And then again, another mug, mixing bowls. If you need mixing bowls, you can usually find them here. Some more patterns. What was that? Just a little candle holder. It had a hole in the bottom, so I think it's just a candle holder. But look how pretty these plates are. Little cottage theme going on there. And I'm not sure. They look like they could be Johnson Brothers, but not sure. Not sure. All right, let's put it back there gently. And then, of course, a whole set of white bowls. See, that would match anything and everything. So if you're getting a new place and you need some cheap stuff, there you go. And, oh, what was in here? Oh, safety pins. Nothing exciting. More Christmas look, new in the box. Definitely modern, but new in the box Christmas. And this was kind of a shame. It was just a glass ornament moon, and it shattered. So, but there you go. I bet that would be all of like $1 or less. And another cool, like that would be good for sorbet and ice cream. And of course, this is like where I find the most stuff. So I'm taking my time in the glass and ceramic bins. And we're done. Little bonus of Rocco this time. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.